Welcome folders to the final part to Arisawa Yuga's Dragon. Now, if you managed to follow along the previous videos, then we have the base. What we're going to do now is simply put in the wing creases for the wings, and then add a few little head details, and then look at some shaping tips for this dragon after we do all that. So that's probably the last half of this video. I'll have a time frame on the screen if you want to just jump ahead, if you've already done this, if you know. Because it's a dragon, you don't necessarily need to add these creases specifically. You can do it entirely how you want. It's a dragon, so there's no right or wrong on how you want to shape it. But if you just want to have some tips on how to shape it, then go to the time frame that I just shown. Anyway, we have now jumped to this crease pattern, which is also in the description. Make sure to download it if you haven't already. And we're going to be putting in these creases. So we're changing it from just the ones going up and across to these ones. So this is going to be very fun and very satisfying. So I'm basically just going to be following the crease pattern that is off screen so it doesn't go too dark. Now let's do the left hand one. So just open up, and then we're going to put in, just start to put in these ones and these ones, so it's straightforward. If you've already got them pre-creased, then it's obviously going to be much easier to make them now than try to add them of some sort at this point. That would be hell. So push that in, and it's good if you've already got them in mountain and valley folds. It makes it so much easier. So we've got that one in place. We're going to open up, and then this one. Where's the crease? Let me just see. Oh yeah, here's here. And then this part gets pushed down. And then the mountain fold, I'll show what I'm using in a second. And then where does this go? Yeah, it stops here because the alternate. Let me just put this one in place first. So like that. So what we have just put in place is, we put this one first, this one, and then this one, then this one, then we push this part down, which allowed us to use this one, and then we just made this one strong at the end. Now we're just going to go to the top part up here. This is where we change the creases because they are at slightly different angles. So you need to change to the other one. Let me just see. This one that goes straight up. Which one is it? I think it's this one here. So we need to change to this one. We'll probably just need to hold this part in. Try to get it nice and neat. I don't think it matters too much how neat it is because it's going to get real crazy on a shape. So you don't need to worry about that. I think that's right, yeah. So like that. And then, yeah, we've got that. This one comes down, meets with this one. Now I'm going to unfold some of the inside layers, these ones here, so we can put in this big section in place. This will allow a lot of it to start to come together. So if we open up, it's just under this one, then that was the valley fold, so it starts right here. So we're going to need to open up all these layers. I mean, think about trying to add this, add these creases when the paper's like this, it's going to be near enough impossible. I mean, it's possible, but easier to add them beforehand. So then it makes it easier to see what you're doing. Right, so let's see. So I'm just putting in these ones first, taking my time to make sure it's correct. Yep, this is a mountain fold and it gets pushed down. So basically like that. It's not fully in place yet, we've just got the major creases. So we have just put in this one, this long one, and then this one here. And then we just push this valley fold down. Now we are going to extend these creases back up and then try to put in these little ones here and see how that goes. So we've already got them in place. Right, make this the mountain fold here. Like that. And now it is one large valley fold. So this is the mountain fold right here. Yeah, so mountain fold, they get pushed out. And the valley fold comes in like that. So the left hand side is in place. Let's just look at the right. Yeah, we need to do a few more creases. First, let me just see. We can make that straight again. Now we are. So the left hand side is correct. So we've got all this in place. We've got all the left hand side. This is done, this part's done, which allows us to connect up with these creases. And we've just roughly put in these ones, which goes in nicely. Now it's just a matter of trying to line up everything that we have right here. And that should be it. So I'm going to go back here again and re-put in this one. So So I'm just going to check first. We have this square. I'm just looking at this one. Valley fold. So this gets merged into that one. And then that one. Okay. Yeah, that's right. The next pushed up. This one is a valley fold. Mountain valley. Now we just line up this crease of this one, because when they overlap these two creases right here. This folds over to this one. So we'll make this first, and then we're going to push in this part to basically sink it inside the little gap that it makes. So let me see. So here we have the crease. I'll try and zoom in. We have the crease starting to line up. There's the first part, and then here's the second part. So we're going to make this all the way down to the centre, exactly as this one on the left hand side. So the same as that. And don't worry if it's not super perfect at the moment, it will be easier to touch up after this next step. So we've just done that. Now we're just going to push this part inside. So I'm holding here, my middle finger is inside this part, I'm holding, then I'm just going to push like that. And then re-put in this one. Like that, so there we go. Now we're just going to try and re-bring this together. And it should lie flatter. Let me just check the crease pattern. We have pushed in. Check the test fold for a second. Yep, so I just need to pull this part down. And then, like before, we are going to use these valley folds. Because the creases are now lined up, we're going to be using, oops, still zoomed in, wrong way. We're going to be using this one and this one. And then, because we've pushed it in, we should be able to use these two, and it should hopefully get flat. And then this part, let me check this again. Comes inside the bottom part. So these two mountain folds, this one and this one, they get slotted inside this pocket right here. Not the one on the left, not the one on the right, but the inside one. And then you just fold up using the existing crease here. And then just try and make it neat. Let me see if it lies flat. So that basically works. So what I'm going to do is quickly flatten this off camera and then show you. Now that I have fully collapsed this part and I've squished it flat, we are basically good to go on this wing. So this is, I'll just open up to show you what it looks like. I'll open it and close it from multiple angles if that helps as well, just to make sure it does. There. and then the back as well. I had to slightly readjust this one, but it does not matter because it's still going to be really awesome in shape, and I won't affect it. And that is the first wing done. What you're going to do is now repeat everything that we've just done here on the last wing. Now we have done it on both sides. So this is the first side and then the second side. Which, as you can see now that we already have a bit of resemblance to a wing. So we have the spike part here, the thicker parts of the wing, and then extra paper. So you could even add more of these pleats if you wanted to get loads of curves, entirely up to you on how you want to shape it. Now we're just going to add a few little details to the head and then talk about shaping. So I think I may actually, I'm not sure if I'll actually, yeah, I'll probably add this one because I need to add this part. I don't know how that will affect that one, but we're going to add this little outside part first. This part right here. Yeah, that part there. So I've already got this pre-creased. Again, it's much easier to add it if you've already got it creased. And it's underneath this layer, so I think I'm going to need to open it back up. How's this going to look? Yeah, because this layer is overlapping, I just need to open this up, pull this one out for now. Yeah, so here we are. I'm going to pull that paper out and then slot it back in once we've shaped. Once we've added the creases. So we have this. Now we're just going to start by putting in the outside one. This one, and this one, and this one, and then basically using the valley folds to collapse it back together, and then the wee mountain fold on the inside. So let's try this. So let's make this mountain fold first. Up to there. Then we have that one. And then this one. So I'm keeping the bottom one flat, so it's easier to fold over this part. Probably the same here as well. Yeah, I'm just going to need to fold this one back in because these creases get mirrored to this side, so it makes it easier to collapse. Like that. So we have the outside ones in place, and then it's just pushing together this little part right at the top. And there we go, that's it. Basically just like that. Now if we fold, I'm going to open it up and then just make sure it's nice and flat. Basically put it back to the original position, like that. So the differences are we've got more plates on the sides, it's pushed upwards, we have another little spike. So we're just going to do the exact same on this side. So I need to pull out this layer. Put this one in first. So hard trying to control this paper. Yeah, I need to come back to that a wee bit. So, like that. Now we're just going to push in this extra flap back and side. And then make the mountain fold, and then we're just going to crease through that layer. And then just as before, we're going to puff out this little tiny part here. Like that. And there we go. So just like that. So now that we have two spikes here, and the head's looking much cooler, we have again these pleats and then more spikes. Now let's see, I don't really think, yeah, let's put in this one first. Oops, this part here. Let's try and do this, see if it lets me. So we need to open up and show it. Okay. So we need to puff this part out. Yeah, that'll collapse fine. Don't need to worry about those wee bottom bits. So we're just pulling out this part. So basically what we're doing is just making this mountain fold first. Or was it this one? Yeah, it was the bottom one first. And then we're going to flatten this part. Like that. I just need to try and find, I don't need to use that, I can just use this. Trying to make this mountain fold all the way down to the bottom just to make sure. I get it right. Right, we're good on the left hand side. On the right hand side, now we should just be able to flatten it. And there we go. Like that. So again, that's probably optional because we have the, you'd normally make the teeth here, so that would shrink the paper down a bit, so I'm actually going to get rid of that. But again, you can make the teeth here and then I'll match up with the top. That's probably the tongue, maybe. Well, that could work. Oh, the bottom's too big. But either or, yeah, I'm actually going to get rid of that. 'Cause I'm not making teeth, so I don't actually need that. Now that we've done that, that is basically it. I did put this little part in place, but because I'm not making the teeth, when you put this part in place, which is this little fella right here, it shrinks the top part of the mouth, so the top part will be smaller than the bottom, but if you made the teeth, they would both be the same length. But because I'm not making teeth, I think the paper is a bit too small for that, though it is possible. I'm going to keep it like that, so the mouth is the same length. Otherwise, normally it would be like that. So you'd see the difference. So once you've done that, that is basically it. I'm not going to add the other parts, I don't think it's necessary. And you have the full, complete base, which you are ready to start shaping. So we're going to jump into some little shaping tips, and then you are on your own. You're on your own to finish this model if you've been following along. If you have, then amazing job. So let's do that. Now we are going to look at the shaping that the designer done and see if we can basically reverse engineer what he did to get the results. So first of all, we're going to start off with the tail. So this is the picture I'm going to use, so I can put it on screen. Grant, don't use the wrong picture. Now if we look at the tail, first of all I'm going to just draw the general shape of the tail. So let's see, try and look at my model. It's going to be a really bad drawing. So it's basically like that. So I've just drew this one, and this one. Now if we look at the designer's fold, let me see, let's try check. So we've got, when you look at the layers going across first, not going down, going across. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the bottom part, which I'm going to assume is the middle layer pushed out. So we have 4 layers. So now we've only got 2, which is, yeah, this one and this one. No, in fact, yeah, that one and that one. So to get 2 more, what I would do is, again, don't need to be exactly the same size, but what you can do is take this edge to this edge, make the crease, and then the same with these edges. So we're basically dividing it into 4, and then we would make a small valley fold under the creases we just made. So like this. And then these would get pleated like that. So this would be mountain fold, and then valley, mountain, valley. So when you do that, the tail gets thinner, but you end up with 4 complete pleats. Like that. Again, you can do it more, you can divide it into 3, you can get 6 pleats, however many you want, or just keep it as the base too. So it's entirely up to you. So that's what I would do. Next, if we look at the ones going down, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. We'll say 15. So we have 1, 2, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So let me see, we have 4 going across, 4 going across this way, and then 15 like that. So that's what I would do. Then again, even though it's 15, you can do 13, 20, 37, entirely up to you. It's exact. There's no exact amount. It's a dragon you're shaping. You can shape it to however you want, but that's what he did. And then it's just a matter of, once you've got the pleats, what do you do after? You can pull the paper out like the Ryujin scales, fold it behind, create lots of spikes, however you want. Entirely up to you, but that is the base for the tail. And then once you do that, you would just push out the middle layer on the inside. So if we're looking at the tail from the very top, well, like this. I've got it here, I forgot I've got it here. So you'd open it up and then push out this part so it would bulge out and then become nice and round rather than straight and pointy. And then the pleats would go around as well. So nice rounded underbelly. So then you would, I don't know how I would draw it, let me just see. Like that. So you'd push out that middle inside, or inside middle. Next, we are going to look at the wings. So we have, first of all we have, in fact, missed part on the tail. Again we have a little part like this. So basically at the top you have these little spikes, so where the pleats are, you'd most likely just undo it. You'd pull the pleats apart, which would create extra paper, and then you would in some way try and hide it by folding it down to create little spikes. So then, in fact let me do a bottom and then top. So you would pull the pleats apart and then let me just go up here. You pull it apart and then try to like hide the paper, extra paper. And it's hard to draw, but you would do something like that to try and get some sort of spiky, sharp look. I don't think there's a right or wrong way to do it, but you would do something like that. So he's done that on the outside, and then we have a layer on the inside, so probably most likely he's done the same, or just folded that inside layer over to make it look round. So that's something that he's done. So the tail is done, we're going to go on to the wing. Now there's going to be a really bad drawn wing. Let me just try and draw something like this. It looks about fine. So that's the base for the wing. Now let's look back here. So first thing we notice is we have these thick parts of the wings. There's 3 of them, 1, 2 and, oh I'm off camera again. So we have thick parts of the wings, which is 1, 2 and then 3. What that most likely is this part and this part. So again, to make them thin, you could just roll them up in a way. So make lots of mountain folds until it looks quite thick, and then the same on this side. So you get a nice roundness to it, and then somehow like pull the paper inside at these parts to make the spikes look bigger. And then you'd most likely do the same here. And the top part would probably be the easiest because you already have thick layers here, so it's just a matter of making like small mountain folds here to hide this part, and then just rounding this all the way up. and then until you get 3 parts like that. So something like that. And then of course hiding the paper here. So you get the distinctive where the paper ends to this part here. So you have the nice distance of the spike until the paper for the wing. So that's what basically is. Now other parts of the wings we have, I don't like these pictures. So we have 2 spikes, one here and one here. Now we already have the first one right here. Now most likely when you shape these, probably you will pull out extra paper. Again, if you want a second spike, it's entirely up to you. You probably pull out extra paper somewhere in here to try and form a smaller spike. So you'd have 2 curved spikes. That's what most likely he has done. And then if you look at this part here, it's just nice and round. So instead of thinning it down as much for the top part, you would just round it until it looks like half the size. And then the extra part, you can do whatever you want. Nice curves, fold it in more, keep the curves higher, entirely up to you. There's no right or wrong way, so basically the wing. Now if we look at the legs, mostly they're going to be the exact same. So let me just try and, yeah, from this one. So from the paper we have, it's just that. So the legs will probably be the hardest. Probably the front legs will be the trickiest because the right legs we already have in position. You would just probably reverse fold like the ancient dragon and then curve to make it look round, but for the front legs we have just the flat. So what I'd probably do is open it up, pull out all these layers just like the ancient dragon, try to slot them in place exactly what we have here, and then if that works and if we are back in this rough position, it's just a matter of trying to add curves to see how it would look as a dragon. So there's no right or wrong way. I don't think I'll draw this for the leg, but I'd probably try and get it similar to the back leg, and then if I can get the back leg shaped nicely, then I'm sure I can do the same with this one. So that's probably, aim to get the front leg like the back leg in terms of pleats, and then you should be good for that. Now, if we look, yeah. So right at the back is this big spike. Now, if we look at the back, there is no spike, but this spike is underneath. So more than likely, you will need to sink this spike through. So basically push it through it probably won't be neat. Again, I've not tried it, so I have no idea. So you'd pull this spike through, and then that would allow you to shape it. That's what I would do. Doesn't look that bad. You'd probably only need to do it from this point. So you could keep this part flat, just fold it up to make a rough crease, and then sink it through on this side. Yeah, that's what I would probably most likely do, and then shape from there. However it turns out, neat or not, it doesn't matter. It's a creepy spike on a dragon, doesn't need to be perfect. Next, we have the pleats on the neck. So, counting down from the head, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I'm going to just draw this. I'll just do head. and then the neck. And then what was that, 7? 7. And then first of all we need to look at the pleats going across. So we have 1, 2, 3 and 4. And then again the bottom looks like it's been pushed out to make 3D, so we're going to go with 4. So 1, 2, 3 and then the bottom one is 4. And then there's 7 across. And then it's most likely you would do the exact same. If you want to shape them to make it look more cool, you could do that. But once you do that, most likely you would just push the bottom part outside, down from the inside. So like that. You would just open up and then push. In fact, we've already got this part out. Depends how much pleats you do. You could do that. Again, actually I may get rid of this part, or put the pleats in first and then do that, or then try and pleat it, but either way, you would most likely do that. And then the head is just, we have what we here, we have 2 large spikes, a little one here, and then one here. And that's exactly what we have. 2 large spikes, with the one on top and then the one here, so exactly as it is, and then shape this part to entirely how you want to do it. And that is basically it. Then you would just fill in the gaps with the body parts, and that's it. You should be finished. But anyway, that is the end of this tutorial. I can finally start shaping this after weeks of planning. All the videos I've done, now it's just to shape. And thank you so much if you watched these episodes on the tutorial. If you managed to collapse it, then great job, and I look forward to seeing your finished result. So thank you everyone for watching.